I've tried to record this video, I feel like so many times. And been an interesting energy, so I'm just gonna get right into it. This is the third part of this Zodiac part of this post at Aries Caliphos. So this first page here, I included the transduction sequence, and this is from the Cathara manual of Keylontic science and like the first level. And for a foundational, first dimensional, first level of Aries, I felt this was appropriate. And if you're like me, you have somewhat of a recollection of this process. And so while this science or these teachings may not be the absolute truth for all of all, there are parts of it that can really make you feel, you could say, a little less crazy is how I used to put it, but also gives you like a permission slip to be your weird, weird self. The transduction sequence represents the phases consciousness passes through into dimensionalization and the process by which conscious energy is transduced and changes form to enter the wave spectra within which perception of manifestation is possible. And this is the basic transduction sequence of consciousness into biological form. Consciousness, so we're going like you could say big into small holographically. Consciousness to Partiki units to Cathara scalar grids levels 1, 2, and 3 to Partiki grids to morphogenetic, aka instruction set fields to Merkaba fields, sets of counter-rotating electromagnetic spirals of energy, repeating scalar wave flash Partiki phasing sequences that run between dimensions and harmonic universes. 2. DNA RNA imprint to bioenergetic auric field to chakras. I forget how you pronounce this, and words are silly, and I know sometimes there is maybe an exact proper way, but I must admit I forget. So I guess you could say nodial or nadial. And sorry, I have definitely have like spring allergies. I've got a little bit of clearing my throat energy going on. So two nadial capsule, tissue-like capsule that forms around the three-dimensional scalar grid of the harmonic universe one morphogenetic instruction set body. Two DNA, RNA manifest, two nadis, energetic rivulets that feed energy from the nodal capsule into the central nervous system and molecular structure, two nuclear core, two central nervous system, metabolic, biological rhythms, blood, brain, chemicals, hormones, organs, tissues. So, like I said, if you're like me, you have somewhat of a recollection to this. And I might speak a little fast so I can get through the slides. And I mean, if I don't, okay, let me not go off on a thing. Let me just read. Aries, root chakra, first chakra, associated with the color red in more than one way. And the adrenal glands, the endocrine gland, the adrenals, which also carry the theme of survival and security, which is a spectrum, as I like to say often, carries life force energies up into the body through the other chakras as well as down the legs. Connected to our inner child, our roots of self, our roots of our family tree. And I use different kinds of quotations there. Why? I don't know, except for what I do know is inner child is in quotation marks because this is who we are. It is not just some, excuse me, past version of ourselves. And there is something to always honoring this part of ourselves, which is, manifest in this physical form. And then the roots of ourself, this could be like our soul genetics, but also our family tree. We have our immediate family here in the physical, but we also have our soul family or our monad families and more than that. I'm sorry, I'm burping and clearing my throat. But I'm gonna get this finished. This chakra is the grounding connection to the earth's subtle energies. Through it and the other chakras, we are connected with the earth and our earthly and cosmic origins. Now we're looking at the etheric body, and this is the auric body layer connected to Aries and the first layer and the root chakra, etc. I took this class in 2019 at the community college nearby, and well, I didn't go. It was online. I don't see. I'm sharing all this information that I maybe don't need to. Okay, so what I'm sharing this for though is that this is where I got this information from from what has been studied in science of the bioenergetics and subtle energies. So take it or leave it, take it with a grain of salt, whatever. 0 to 2.5 to no 0.25 to 2 inches from the physical body is supposedly where this etheric body exists. It is a sparkling web of energy lines upon which the physical matter of the body tissues is shaped and anchored. So let me repeat myself a little bit of mind fucky energy. The ethereal, aka the etheric body, is the energy matrix within which bodily tissues are formed prior to manifesting into physical form. It has the same structure as the physical body, including all the anatomical parts and organs. This auric body sets up the matrix in the shape of the body parts prior to their cellular growth in their ultimate physical form, and it does so before the cells materialize physically. So, just trying to like hammer that in. Hammers are Aries iron energy. Okay, so we have a connection between the first chakra and the 12th chakra. And I circled it here in a sense where, the root chakra is near our root. I wanted to say kind of near our butt. So there, I said it. And then you see this little red circle underneath the feet. That is representative of Kathara, center one. And you see it's red. So, in some sense, this is first dimensional energy. So physical dimensions one, two, and three. This is the sphere of 3D time. That's where we're looking at the root chakra in some way, but also this Kathara sphere or center. And this is where our Earth star chakra is, which connects to the Earth core in the bottom of the 12D shield. And this is the 13th chakra. So that might be a lot of like maybe what I said didn't make sense. In some way it does. Either don't listen to me or I don't know, do whatever you want. Aries, Earth Star Chakra, which is the 12th chakra. This is a white energy and it holds platinum liquid light frequencies. It is approximately 6 inches below the feet and connects into, like I said, the base of the 12D shield. And the 12th dimension connects to future timelines. The interface into the planetary body grid system and its neural network is what the 12th chakra is. And it is also connected to the morphogenetic race field of DNA patterns. So there's a lot going on here if you want to say the first and 12th chakras are connected when we're looking at Aries and the law of mentalism and just this very cerebral energy. So, beyond honoring a wider, fuller spectrum of an Aries energy, I also want to note that when we're looking at the words connects to future timelines, all time is sort of happening now. So it's not about like be here now, and that means you can't be in the future. It's sort of like when you are your most present self, you are more connected to all of multidimensional time. So yeah. Okay, I'm going to continue. So this 12th chakra is connected to the auric body layer, the nirvanic body layer. And again, maybe you don't like all these words and these layers, but let's just play around with it. 12th dimension and body layer, it can be connected into the planetary body, which supports the harmonization of the planet, the environment. I highlighted iron there, and spiritual connection links to the crystal star for humanity. So then I wanted to highlight the senses also. So I highlighted here specifically dimensions 1 and 12. So with the first five listed there, those are very technically connected to the first, second, and third chakras. And in many ways and senses, everything's connected, even if people call that pseudoscience. So I'm not going to say it over and over, but what we have at the first, second, and third dimension is also something called the Nada Hova body. So look into Keylontics if you want to. I enjoy it, even though I don't enjoy all of the entirety of the lore connected to In certain ways, it definitely reminds me of things I talked about my whole life. And it gives me, again, this permission slip to be my weird ass self. So we have visual sight sense, auditory hearing sense, tactile touch sense, olfactory smell sense, and sense of taste. And actually, let me pause this 1 second. Okay, I just wanted to check because I know before I noticed that I cut off this bottom piece. So with the 12th dimensional frequency, we have the sense of art you, centripetal sense, Raja body. Primary attribute is magnetic accretion, and this is where consciousness exits dimensionalization. So, I don't know everything. I might get some things wrong here too, but I definitely wanting to share all of this. With that being said, there's some typos here and things that I didn't finish, and I'm not even sure what I was typing. First example being on this first line where it says layered dimension, DNA strand, axiom line, and it says one. You could say one or first. And then I have pillar one, and then I'm not sure what I was going to say there, but I imagine it might be where I wrote line down here. So harmonic universe, first, density and field, first density in the rayon, um, field. Matter and plasma type, we have gross matter plasma, the root or base chakra that we just went over, and the line I wrote here, Hara line, the line one, base mana, electrical current flow, that's the typo. Auric body layer, etheric or ethereal, which we just went over as well. Mind, subconscious, we'll go over that. Color, star crystal seal, red. Shield is the telluric shield, and this is Partiki energies, and this is a gross matter plasma shield. Hova body is the Nada Hova body. We also have here with the corresponding identity stations, and I don't know. I don't know all of the technical. I'm still learning as well, if it were me relaying all of this. But we do have the Tauranic body at this layer, that coming into physical form energy, which I feel very connected to Taurus energy. I digress. Harmonic Universe 1, Incarnate ID, D1, Dimension 1, Chi proton units. The domain is the Akkadic 3 ray, a platonic solid tetrahedron, 4 faces, 4 points, 6 edges, and 720 degrees. Universal Stargate and secondary connection point. We have parallel Earth, and the secondary point is Theta Orion. Galactic Stargate Mercury, Stargate Signet Site Halley, South Pole, and then we also have the Painted Desert, Arizona. Templar Q site, Cyprus, Mediterranean Sea, and Aries energies. So we have tetrahedron. I'm not going to read all of this. Aries, unconscious mind. Okay. In order to understand the internal structures of ego, which we also refer to as the houses of ego, it requires the awareness that there are 3 main layers. So, mind you, I said subconscious, unconscious. Don't always love the way these are interchanged, but I digress once more. Maybe I will again. The 3 layers of mind work together to serve the functions of the ego in all human beings. This is from Ascension Glossary. Each energetic layer has separate functions, yet all 3 layers are interconnected and directly impact each other. As we learn about the layers in the internal structure of the ego, am I yelling? I feel like I always am. This clarifies the purpose of identifying what the ego is and how it operates within us. When we understand how ego operates inside our mind, we are better equipped to heal the energetic imbalances. The first layer is the first dimension, first chakra, that is the memory storage for the unconscious mind. Within Keylontic science and the Guardian teachings, there is the ideology that the negative alien agenda, this agenda is hidden to mind control the human race and enslave the planetary system through mind control. I feel like, did I write that or is this a direct quotation? It's worded kind of funny. This has left 4 main areas of trauma and damage in the unconscious mind of the collective consciousness of the human race. Until a human being awakens into higher states of observation with self-awareness and self-responsibility, he is a puppet of his subconscious programming, impulses, and instinctual reactions, which maintain the most primitive and animalistic behaviors. 1D memory storage, first internal layer. This is the root layer of our unconscious mind, and it functions like a hard drive for the ego. In this hard drive is the cellular memory storage from all of one's life streams. This means that cellular memories from past lives, present lives, and future lives may all be stored in this memory hard drive. These memories are not given value when they are recorded, whether one may perceive them as good or bad. These many multiple memories are stored on the root hard drive of every human being, the root hard drive. Whether one was a fetus, baby in between lifetimes, or unconscious when the body suffered abuse, it was recorded in one's memory storage, whether one currently remembers that event consciously or not. In that class that I took that I mentioned, they called the Akashic Field the information storage hologram, which is also Earth. Because the planet was invaded and our individual memory and identity erased from those tragic events, most all human beings have four main areas of cellular memory record in their unconscious mind at varying degrees. Those four main areas are abuse, trauma, shock, and devastation. Some people will feel these painful memories but not know what caused them or where they came from. Others will suffer from shock and will have shut these memories down completely as a coping mechanism. Others are very successful at clearing these memories through emotional clearing practices, such as with hypnosis and past life regression. Since the 1D unconscious mind controls our autonomic nervous system and autonomic bodily functions, unhealed memory trauma in these four main areas creates many kinds of physical symptoms and disease. It's either that or ascension symptoms. These devastating memories have been partially described in Twisted Half-Truths in the Fall of Humankind or the Genesis story of Adam and Eve in the Bible. Starseeds and indigos have an Earth mission to heal these memories and timelines in a multitude of ways. Then we have the 1D subatomic layer. The subatomic level of our elemental physical body blueprint commences at the first layer of our core manifestation body template and is also called the 12 tree grid. This template is the first dimensional layer that consciousness utilizes to manifest in the physical worlds. Also, this first layer is at the first dimensional level of the earth plane, and its energies, chi or ki, are synthesized and transmitted through our bodies via our root chakra or first chakra. Am I going to be able to get to all this? We'll see. The Kundalini coils, and because this is the silver cord and body correlations. The Kundalini coils in the coccyx are connected to the silver cord in the pineal gland in the brain and in the navel. When the pineal gland receives enough stimulation of higher dimensional spectrum of frequency activation into the soul bodies and DNA activation begins. Oh, I read that kind of funny. All nine dimensions of the spectrum of frequency, or the triad of three sets of Kundalini energies, are coiled up within the eight fetal cells located on the tailbone or coccyx. Coccyx. These eight fetal cells are created at the time of conception. The incarnating consciousness identities are connected in these intelligent layers of spectrum of frequency, which are linked into the silver cord of the soul and hold the birth transduction sequence imprint of the entire consciousness. When Kundalini is consistently activated and moves up the spine, the internal pillar of light is strengthened in the spinal cord and multiple silver cord connections to the threefold founder flame are constructed, which progressively integrate higher consciousnesses. Tailbone. The tailbone is the area where the eight fetal cells are located in our etheric auric blueprint in our light body, and they control the Kundalini energies and their momentum of the planetary forces as they run through the personal meridian and natal nodal system. Main vertical spiritual current columns run up the center of the body. It's called the Hara line. This is related to the formation of the first eight cells of the spirit body in the tailbone. It is where the Hara currents come from. And before the Hara currents, we have the core currents that come from the eye of God. This area for most humans is highly vulnerable, as many of us have been implanted with a reptilian tail that obstructs or siphons the energy out of the root chakra areas, as well as the earth chakra connector that is about 6 inches beneath our feet. I think that's all I have here. I'm going to end it, but there's three other slides that I included there for you to explore. So, yeah, do what you want there. Thank you.